Good afternoon, everybody. Well, time doesn't matter. Time is time. Excuse me. My allergies kicked in about half an hour ago, and I'm getting stuffy, but I can still breathe slightly. But my throat is getting scratchy from postnasal drip. Something I have to deal with every season. Today's work was just slow, as in people slow, not time wise, because time wise it seemed like it went by really quick. But when you only get so many numbers, that's half of what you normally get on a Monday. You kind of go, why am I where I'm at when the other locations or food court area are in desperate need of workers because we've had call outs or health issues or one thing or another that's caused people basically not to be able to show up for work. It is what it is. But hey, I'm still earning a paycheck, so that's all that matters. Well, it's not all that matters to me, but yeah, that's part of the big picture. But when I got home, Diane and I talked about a few different things that's just been going on. I have not been able to read her latest comments lately to either have her put some sort of response to them or what. But she was telling me, actually Lisa told Jerry, because Lisa does a lot of that for Jerry, about a lot of people commenting about how she's basically back in bed and back to her old ways. Well, no. To be honest with you, she's not back in her old ways where she spends all day in bed. Okay, I will say that she does spend a good part of the day in bed. But when I'm not here, I don't try to motivate her to do stuff. A lot of stuff she does on her own that you don't see on camera, like her PT exercises, her getting up and changing, putting that brace on that she has to wear when she's basically not lying down is a royal pain in the butt. She can do it by herself, but it takes a bit of energy out of her. I know you guys have probably heard her talk about spoons, and you have only so many spoons per day, and each task takes up a number of spoons or a spoon or whatever. I will say that her energy it's like mine. It waxes and it wanes. It comes and it goes. It depends on how much sleep you got, what kind of food you ate in the morning time, what kind of activities are going on during the daytime. I know, like for today, because of lack of business, it took a lot for me not to close my eyes and doze off. For the most part, excuse me, folks, I need to. What the heck is up there? You don't want it. Whatever it is, it's lodged. But a lot of times before she does her morning vlogs, she'll get up. She'll get up the same time as I do. She might fall back asleep for a short period of time, or she might stay awake, depending on how she feels. But she tells me, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's all kosher, fine and dandy and whatnot. And when I leave, she does her PT, Then she eats her apple or breakfast sandwich or whatever she wants, whatever I can basically get for her quickly before having to just get to work. And then when she's done with her PT and her her breakfast and whatnot, that's when she'll like take the um, shell, bodice, whatever you want to call it, off and lay back down. Sometimes she'll do a vlog right after she lays down. Sometimes she'll fall asleep. It really depends on how much sleep she gets the night before. I know the first Wednesday night and Thursday night, I do believe she had issues with falling asleep. So those 2 mornings, she had a rough morning. And hey, you know what? She still did her PT. All the things that is required of her by the medical people to keep going, to keep building up her muscles and strength and whatnot. But like right now, she's out in the living room, sitting on the couch with her clamshell, whatever you want to call it, on. Now, I took a really good look at that clamshell, and when they readjusted it to make her more comfortable, the one side is not aligned properly. So the back piece, which goes underneath the front piece, digs into her hip area. So it hurts from time to time. And I'm like, okay, well, is there anything we can do? I mean, one of the ideas that I came up with was trying to figure out a way to put a pool noodle, glue or double sticky tape a pool noodle under her armpits and around the bottom of it. Well, downside is, after taking a really good look at it, is she'll end up sitting like this all the time. And yeah, the bottom part would be a little too uncomfortable as well. So I scratched that idea. But I want to think of some way to put some sort of extra padding, I guess you'd say, on the inside of the clamshell around her waist section, especially her hip area, and under her arms. But the thing is, according to the information I read on her back brace, is she'll only be in that for, they're saying roughly a maximum amount of time, 3 months, if that much. But of course, there was that ending part that made me go, what? The only reason why she would have to have that back brace permanently, which we're both hoping it's not the case, is if the deterioration in the spine either makes it impossible for her to basically hold herself up because she's in, she could either cause the spine to break, causing damage to the spinal cord, or best case scenario is, and I don't know if this would be the best case scenario or not, is to go in there and fuse or put some sort of wrapping, or basically they'd have to operate and either fuse the spine or wrap something around the weaker spinal cords with the upper spinal cord, vertebrae. And I'm like, God, something I really don't want to look towards, but at this point in time with her current situation, I don't know how that's going to be. She is back on her chemo pill, but they have to wait another couple weeks to 3 weeks. I think. I don't know. They have to wait until probably a couple weeks before they can actually get her in to do the actual radiation therapy, the actual whatever it is they do in chemo or whatever it is. But I'm just kind of like, okay, that's at least here in town. Tomorrow I have to take her to little town. Well, I don't know how big it is. I've never really been in Lebanon. We have a small town called Lebanon here in Rolla, and they are in Missouri. And it's closer than driving all the way up to Columbia for doing her shots in her eyes to help try to clear that up a little bit more. And I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, we're going to start that kind of stuff. So now we have the eye shots, the chemo, let's see here, eye shots on Tuesday. Thursday she's got to go into go to get that immune booster, whatever, transfusion. That's what they call it. That's what she's calling it, transfusion. And I'm just like, okay, I know you're doing the transfusion before this whole hospital stay thing happened. She was doing the chemo pills. She was doing the eye shots before she found out she had cancer. I literally have to start keeping a record of all these different things she's doing, because there are some days where she tells me a week or so in advance, hey, take off such and such a day, or see if you can get off early on such and such a day so you can take me to the doctor's. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be the new norm. Having to be able to take days off and having to know this information a week in advance so I can put it on my calendar and go fill out paperwork for requested time off. Until Julie can get back, I have to do it all, and I'm not complaining. I'm just kind of like, all right, this is the new norm. I have to figure out how to juggle this and everything else I'm juggling. Okay, sure, no problem. I do know this much, this is the last week before Christmas break, and it's still up in the air because I haven't gotten information that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I may be off. And I'm kind of like, well, I need Thursday off anyhow because I have to deal with her medical appointment. Unfortunately, it's not that simple, because, I mean, it is that simple, but it's not, because the factor, if Jerry could get into Mom's car, or Mom can drive the van, which she really can't because she's never really driven it, so she doesn't know how it handles. Mom could easily take Jerry to the appointment, and then I would just come right after work to the appointment and bring Jerry home. But since Jerry has to deal with a wheelchair, Mom can't really take her because Mom couldn't lift that wheelchair into her vehicle. I have trouble lifting it into the vehicle myself, and as you know, her wheelchair is definitely over 50 pounds, because 50 pounds, not that bad. I mean, I've dealt with 50 pounds worth of product at various different jobs. But no, like I said, I haven't seen any of the new comments from her latest videos because I've been just too busy and haven't taken the time to read any of those. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm just hearing it from two different sources. But it's not that I'm trying to ignore Jerry's comments or her needs when it comes to her YouTube and whatnot, because my brain is going, YouTube, not health problem. don't worry. But then I get this, you haven't read any of my comments in a while. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube. Okay, I know you don't like reading because it puts you to sleep, but we both now have an app on our phone where if you open up, let's say you open up YouTube, and you open up somebody's comment on YouTube, and it's a really long comment. It's easy to just hit this button and tap on the words, and it starts reading it to you. Great for people who are having eye problems or just don't like to read. Me, on the other hand, I enjoy reading. I've had a couple of comments that were like, "Oh, somebody's writing a mini novel." Okay, let's start reading. And if I start getting to the point where it's like, okay, either A, I can't read it because it's starting to give me a headache or something, or B, it's like, okay, hold on, I gotta write notes on this one because I want to clarify. But other than those things, everything is going hunky-dory. In fact, because of the issue getting out the back door with the ramp, we tested getting in and out of the front door, and the front door is actually wider than the back door. So the only things that will be a problem is, one, getting back into the house because it's a very steep ramp. 2, maneuvering it so I can get her into the house without too many problems. And 3, I have some, I don't know if it's fertilizer or mulch or whatever it is, but it's a couple extra bags of plant, putting around your trees. In fact, I might put a bunch of it around the baby tree to help insulate it during the winter time. But I have to move those bags because this is our front area right here outside this one window. Let's see here. This one window there. And I have a porch-like area. But it's not super narrow. It's not too bad. But at the other end, they have this like little rounded off pavement to get onto the carport. And as I tested the chair, I was like, okay, the mulch material definitely has to move, and I might have to move a few other little things, and I need to do it like now, tonight, within minutes. Otherwise, there's a chance that the chair, as I'm trying to turn it to get it onto the carport, could tilt, and I don't need that. I don't need to be calling 911 going, hey, yeah, I'm trying to push my wife in her wheelchair around a corner, and it's in my yard, but it kind of fell over. So one of my projects in the near future might be trying to pour some concrete in that area to make it more square instead of round, because then I'll have plenty of room to angle. So that's the fun of today, or what part of today, and what could be happening very shortly in the future. But anyhow, the heck is this bar? Okay, I'll have to read that. Looks like something Jerry wrote on there. But yeah, fun. Anyhow, is there anything else that I want to talk about that I'm dealing with? No. Oh, Jay and I have talked a little bit more about our plans for the winter, because travel is pretty much out of the question unless it's unless one, the doctor's permitted, and two, we can find an easy way to do things, since I'm just learning. This is not going away. What is this? Brace, 6 months. So if this is right, she's going to have to wear her brace until May 17th. Oh yeah. I didn't realize it was going to be 6 months. Yikes. So yeah, travel is probably not going to be in our plans for the winter. We'll see what happens in the summertime. Whether she has people come up and visit her, or whether we can afford, let alone she can do health-wise, a trip to visit somebody. I mean, we've got, if Jerry drives, it will be an 8-hour drive, 8 to 10 hours from here to Texas. 8 hours from here to visit some people we know up north. I can't remember what state. Then we have family in New York we could go visit, or she can go visit. I'm not going to go to New York. Or we've been wanting to go to do a summer drive to go see, early to mid-spring. Let's just put it this way. I'd like to be able to take her down to visit my family in Arizona before it gets too hot. We wanted to go see the Grand Canyon during the daytime. She's never seen it during the day. We were talking about going into Cali to see the Redwood Forest in California. And then we had talked about going up to Yellowstone. Problem with going to visit Yellowstone, you either need to have your reservations well in advance, unless you can find a inexpensive hotel or something like that in one of the surrounding cities or towns in the Yellowstone area, because those get filled up pretty quickly. Yellowstone would be the best time to be hit. That would be like before like either late May or early April, before the park opens up for the big tourist season. Because I mean, there's let's see here. You can stay at Gardner. You can stay at Bozeman. You can stay at Bozeman's a good drive away. I can't remember the name of that town on the highway between Billings and Bozeman. Starts with an L. I just don't remember the name of it. Then if you want to get really, let's see here. West Yellowstone has some decent bed and breakfasts. Gardner, Montana, which is the north gate of Yellowstone, has a couple bed and breakfasts. You have Cody, Wyoming, which is the east gate, which has a bed and breakfast or two. And then there's what is the name of that place? It's in Idaho or Montana. I can't remember. I think it's in Idaho. Grand Tetons are north of Yellowstone. Or is that no. I'm sorry, I can't remember the town that's the south gate of Yellowstone National Park. It's also a giant ski resort. I don't know if that's the Grand Tetons or not. but it's like Yellowstone, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Jackson Hole, Wyoming, because it's the big town between Yellowstone and the Grand Teton areas, and it's a huge tourist attraction because of all the sights to see, all the festivals they have there, all kinds of things they have. But it's a fun, I mean, it's a fun area. And Jackson Hole might not be Wyoming. That might be something else. I don't know. I'd have to look at what state exactly it's in, but we wanted to go to all those places and then some, but between her health condition and finances and just a lot of things pushing things backwards. But anyhow, I'm not going to let go of those dreams. I'm pretty sure Jerry is not letting go of dreams. She's very hopeful. She's very good-spirited and positive about the whole thing. Which that her positivity is the one key factor of keeping her going and fighting this monster of a disease. But anyhow, I'm cooking myself in here because this is the warmest room in the whole house. So I will let you guys go. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put those in the question comment box. If you're new to my channel and are curious to see what's going to happen next, or what might be on the docket for the next day, you can hit the subscribe button and then click on the little bell that pops up, and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. And until next time, you guys have a good day. Enjoy. Bye.